got Susan Rollins already in here. Thank you very much for joining me. Hey everybody, I am Mary from Mary's Heirloom Seeds, and I am live now. Happy Friday Eve, everyone. For those of you just joining me for the first time, welcome, and for those of you that join me regularly, welcome back. Please hit the thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Of course, YouTube went a little wonky today again and decided that I needed to be in a different orientation today instead of horizontal like I prefer. I had planned on going live. Hey Joan, thanks for joining me, and hey Asia Joe, thanks for joining me. If you haven't already, please hit the thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I had fully intended to go live in the seed garden where I have a massive amount of these, but it is extremely loud on that side of the property. This side of the property is cows. I absolutely love it. That side of the property is humans, and it's loud. So today we're going to be in my kitchen garden where I'm going to show you what is going on with some of these Egyptian walking onions. The first section of Egyptian walking onions, hey Chelsea, thanks for joining me. The first section I planted in September of 23, I think it was. And then I planted another section in 24. These are from 24, so just showing you all that as well. Hey Jenny, happy Thursday. Hey Caitlin, thanks for joining me. So I'm going to share with you an update on Egyptian walking onions. So if you haven't already, sorry Inga, if I'm a little muffled. Everybody, can you hear me? Let me see if I can fix this and see if maybe it's just me. It could just be me that's muffled because I am outside and it's crazy and I can't breathe, but I'm trying. If you are having trouble hearing me, let me know. Sorry about that. It could be just where my microphone is set up because, like I said, I had to completely, oh good, now I'm better. I had to completely change where I was going live because it's loud over there. It's a little more quiet over here. So anyway, so we're in my kitchen garden here, and I'm going to share with you a couple of tidbits about Egyptian walking onions. First and foremost, hey Esther's daughter, thanks for joining me. First and foremost, we offer pre-orders of Egyptian walking onions in June, and we ship out in September. So if you are interested in purchasing Egyptian walking onions, definitely sign up for my emails. In the description section of this video, hey Krista, you will find a link to my comprehensive planting guide, to Mary's Heirloom Seeds, to the first video I did about what are Egyptian walking onions and how I planted them. They are so easy to plant. They're also very easy to grow. They are very low maintenance. They don't require a lot of attention. Literally, I mostly ignore these, and that's it. I have weeded the beds because anytime you're growing root crops, you don't really want to have a bunch of weeds for them to contend with. Same with garlic, onions, root crops, beets, radish, things like that. I actually wasn't sure if I was going to be able to go live outside. Oh, the sun is coming out because it has been, the weather said it's supposed to rain all day off and on today, and it hasn't. So now it's sunny and beautiful since it's been overcast and gray literally all day long. So if you want to grow Egyptian walking onions, you're definitely going to want to sign up for my email. I send out awesome emails to customers. We don't sell your information, so if you sign up, you're only going to get information from me. And I'm going to have to move my camera a little bit so that you can see these because I don't want to pull these up. I don't want to, let me see if I can just move this a little bit. All right, so the beauty of having to change your video like 4 minutes before you go live. Bear with me here. Thank you for your patience. So I'm going to show you here what these look like. Can't even get this up. Here we go. All right, so these are stalks. You can see these down here are all the way down to the soil. This here is where the bulbs are going to form that are going to walk. You can see this one already is starting to come out, and in that will form what's called bulbils. And in those bulbils will be what is going to walk. Sean the gardener says, cool Mary, I sowed some heritage garden peas today. Very cool. Our treasured home, welcome. You said you love onions. Me too. I've been eating a ton of onions lately, but these Egyptian walking onions are so unique. So if you're familiar with growing onions, I'm not sure if it's too dark or whatnot. It looks way too dark on my end, so I apologize. When you're growing regular onions, bulbing onions, you've got short day, long day, and intermediate, and those are for different areas that you are in the U.S. So in the South, where we are in East Texas, you grow short day. If you live in the North, you would want to grow long day, and if you live in the middle of the U.S., you want to grow intermediate. But these onions can be grown everywhere. Sean the gardener, thank you very much for your feedback, because it's super dark on my end. So, okay, so I already talked about a little bit about these. I'm not going to go into full detail because my video on about walking onions and planting them has so much information in them. This is considered a perennial onion because it walks, because this onion can stay here indefinitely. I've got several patches on the property that I have only harvested, well, I should say, I mostly harvest the bulbils for seed. And then every now and then I harvest some of the actual onions. Hey, Natasha, thanks for joining me. Now, what am I going to do with all these onions? The great thing about Egyptian walking onions is it will continue to produce for years and years and years with almost no inputs from me. These little, like I said, I showed you earlier, this little section here that looks like it's ready to pop, inside there will form little tendrils, and those tendrils will become bulbils, and you can either remove the bulbils and plant them in a different area, or you can let them, they get so heavy that they fall over, they produce roots, and then they grow up from there. So they are awesome. If you want to add these to your garden, you're definitely going to want to reach out to me in June or sign up for my emails, and I will send you the link to pre-order in June. Now, I've got another garden bed over here that has them that are ready to harvest the actual onions. The cool thing about these is you can eat them just like you would a regular onion. Once you harvest them, they're not going to continue to grow anymore. But what you could do is wait until this onion has bulbils, then you harvest the stalk, take that bulbil and drop it in the hole and walk away, and then you can eat your actual onions. Another great thing about these is you can store them just like you would a regular onion, but not long term. So if I harvest these, I'm going to put them in the refrigerator for a little bit. You can also, you can freeze dry them, you can dehydrate them, you can freeze them, you put them in the, I forget what they're called, but you want to do the seal them and put them in the freezer, and you can chop them first to save a little bit of space. But you can use them just like you would a regular onion. So again, they're considered a perennial onion because they will continue to grow for years and years and years. This same onion bed that I planted here, if I want, I could just let it grow and not pull anything. Inga says, be careful of feral husbands though. Mine thought they were weeds and I was able to save 3 out of like 10. Oh no. Yeah, so that's the great thing about my relationship is my husband does not go in my garden. Susan says, store in a glass of water in the fridge, they last longer. Very cool, very awesome. Now, when I'm done with my video, I will share a picture of what the seed bed looks like. It is massive. It is so full of onions. I wish I could have gone live in that garden tonight instead of here where I just have a measly couple of them. That one is much more established and this one is just brand new. So, but the cool thing about this is you're seeing a brand new bed that is already going to start producing stuff for me, and I've already eaten some of these as well, because one bulbil will grow up and there'll be multiple onions there, and you can pull out one or you can pull out all 3 or 4 depending on what's there. Nancy, I have them growing in my flower bed on my front porch. They're so interesting. Mine have the little seed heads. Yep, I just shared that a little earlier. Mine already have some seed heads producing. So as these grow and as they produce some more, I will share more. Krista says that new bed looks marvelous. These are a work in progress. So 1, 2, 3, I planted recently, but they're brand new for this year. And then 1, 2, 3, not this one, I say the back. this one is not new for this year. The 2 on that side are, and then I've got 1, 2, 3 that are brand new for this year as well. It's been a wild ride getting all these garden beds put in. And then my seed garden area on the other side, one of my seed gardens, that's the new one from March of last year. So keeps me busy, keeps me very busy. If you guys have any questions, you can always send an email to Mary@marysheirloomseeds.com and I will answer. Hey, Idaho Garden Girl, thanks for joining me. So today is just literally an update on the Egyptian walking onions that I planted in September of 2024. And I already have this beautiful lush growth. I've already harvested some of them. I'm about to harvest seeds as soon as they're available. These I will definitely do store the seeds, or I will harvest the seeds and I will put them in another area. I don't really want this bed in particular to fill out with hey Rudy, thanks for joining me. I don't want this bed to fill out with onions because I have several over on the other side that are for seed. So these are more for just what I want to eat or just what I want to store. Let's see, haha, still have freezing weather here. So it was warmer today. It was nice. It was in the 70s. Hey Patriots Rabbitry, thanks for joining me. For us, it was warm, but not too bad. Spartacus says, if one has to have a bed for just those, how many would you start if planning to, quote, let them go? Hey Laughing Gardens, thanks for joining me. So if you look at these bunches here, each bunch was a single bulb. And so you can see how well they have spread out just in this very small space. So if you were growing them to let them go, I would say start with 1 per square or 1 per 2 squares, only because I don't like to waste a lot of space and I like to give them more. Let's see, Idaho Garden Girl. I don't see the message. Oh, here, hang on. I gotta undelete your message. Sorry. There you go. Hidden and unhidden. Sorry about that. I got Doc at the helm checking things out, and he must have hit the button on accident. Sorry about that. We'll get you all back and taken care of, Idaho Garden Girl. Thank you. So Spartacus, it really depends on if you want this to be. I like to use the most of my space. So I would plant them 1 per square and let them go crazy from there and just go from there. I would just say, also because I like them to get really thick. I don't really want to have this entire bed that's like empty or half empty. So I would do 1 per square and then let them grow. And obviously, thanks Doc, I appreciate it. You're good. Sorry, Idaho Garden Girl, we made a mistake in removing one of your comments, but you've been put back in there. Sorry about that. I'm going to look over here real quick, and I'm going to harvest some onions. So I'm going to swap around here. And so if you missed the beginning, I have done 0 to these onions. I added mountain flower root boost, mixed up the soil. This was a brand new bed when I put it in there, and usually they don't do all that great. When you have a brand new bed, when you plant stuff, it doesn't always do like thriving. It's totally fine, Doc, you're good, you're fine. But Idaho Garden Girl has been restored, so we're fine. Now I'm going to share with you another bed. So I planted these in a raised bed that already had mountain flower root boost and compost in it. Then I went ahead and just let it go. I barely water these. I barely, like I said, most of what I just do is weed the bed, and that's it. Matt Farm says Egyptian walking onions are your favorite onions to grow. Well, very cool. All right, hang on. And I posted to my Facebook page earlier. April 20th is the official Earth Day. But Earth Day is every day at Mary's Heirloom Seeds. So one of the things that you can do to reduce your impact is using reusable cups. Shameless plug here. We have 3 logos. This one is faded, and that's not because of it was poorly put together. I accidentally left it out in the garden for like a month in the summertime. And so then I found it under one of my plants. Speaking of being a feral gardener, or mostly feral gardener, my garden was so overgrown with tomatoes that I lost my cup. But I brought it in the house, I washed it off, and it's still going strong. So I highly recommend our cups. I have left these out in the garden for half the day and come back, and even in the heat, and they still have plenty of ice. We have 3 logos on, or 3 graphics on the 30 ounce, plus the mostly feral gardener one, and we've got 20 ounces, which are perfect for coffee if you're going for a long drive. All right, so now, thank you very much, Chelsea. I appreciate it. Hey, Naked Gardener, thanks for joining me as well. Krista says I dropped mine and it has a ding in the bottom, but still not leaking. Very, very cool. So I have dropped mine, but not on purpose. I have a rude orange cat that has knocked my cups off the kitchen counter. And so this is one of my busted lids, but it still works. This was dropped from my kitchen counter onto tile floor, and it's still in great shape. So, and you can buy the replacement top, so I'm not really that worried about it. But yeah, I have dropped mine several times from the countertop onto the ground, and it works. All right, so we talked about the Egyptian walking onions. We talked about how I pretty much ignore them. The only thing I've done was made sure that I had a good amount of nutrients in there when I got started. Sorry, I'm hearing noises. Alrighty, so these are, sorry, let me get a little closer here so you can see them. These are the onions I'm going to harvest right now. So I'm moving this around so you can see what I'm doing. You're not going to see me, obviously. So I haven't even weeded this bed that much. You can see it's, you know, not in the greatest of shape as far as weeding goes. It's still pretty feral, you know, no big deal. And so you're literally just going to, I mean, you can be super careful with it, or you can just tear it out. But I like to separate it just a little bit so I have a little more space. Now, if you want them to grow bigger, you definitely want to separate them. Don't do what I did and just ignore them if you want them bigger. So I'm going to separate it a little bit here. And I'll probably end up breaking it, sorry, because I didn't bring my tool. I have a little tool that I just dig around and let it come out. There you go. So if I wanted these to grow bigger, I would separate them. Now, I can actually take this, and I can take these apart, and I can replant them, and now I have 4. I don't actually have to propagate by using the bulbs. I can actually propagate by actually just planting this one. Now, I do want to cover that back up so I don't lose any of them. And I'll come back and chat with you a bit. Sorry. This says, so beautiful and green. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Yeah, we've had a lot of rain here lately, so that's a plus. So I just harvested some Egyptian walking onions. These are going to be for dinner tonight. Or I can, like I said, I can freeze them. I can replant them. The cool thing about, hey, Jennifer, thanks for joining us. And Sean the gardener, how big could a single stage onion grow from that bunch? So if I take this and I plant it in the ground, I would not be harvesting the end result onion. I would be planting this to harvest the bulbs after the fact. These will actually get significantly bigger if I have more patience, or if I move them so that they were a little, they had more space. I let a giant bulbil drop to the ground, and that's what came of this one. So I've got multiple patches in multiple areas of my kitchen garden, which is really cool. In this situation, I planted like 1, and it dropped. And now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8 spots. So it went from 1, and then it multiplied, and then it multiplied. So this is on the smaller side. for an Egyptian walking onion. I should have, if I wanted bigger ones, I should have given a little more maintenance, but I didn't want to do that. I just wanted to let it go. But this whole section is basically free food because it started from one and now I have 9 bunches. So anyway, so just so you know, it's super easy to grow these. These, like I said, are a massive onion. And now I have some dinner. So I will show an update on the Egyptian walking onion beds. I've got one over there that I'll show in the, I'll make a post on Facebook and I'll make a post on my YouTube channel. Let's see, Coretta, what's your zone? I ordered them, so I should wait. We are zone 8. Let's see, Sean, I'm wondering if I could find them in the UK here. Probably. There's probably a supplier in the UK that would have those for you, so definitely check it out and see. I know we can't ship to the UK, especially not live stuff, but definitely try it and see if you can find them. What else? If you guys have any questions, you can always send me an email. My email is mary@marysheirloomseeds.com, and I actually answer. We will be offering Egyptian walking onion bulbils on in June, late June, and then we ship in September. So definitely check those out if you want. Also in the link in the description section of this video is my seed sale. So check it out. I've got an April seed sale I'm super excited about. And now I'm going to go inside because my eyes are watering. I got some allergies going crazy here right now. So I'm going to go inside and rinse my face off after being out here for a little while. Anyway, thank you very much for joining me. Like I said, if you've got any questions, you can send me an email. This was just a short, brief update on my Egyptian walking onions. In the description section of the video, I posted a link to the original video I did back in 2023. Have I talked about elephant garlic? I have not talked about elephant garlic, but I do have it growing. Sorry, my eyes are watering. Inga says, what kind of soil do you need for Egyptian walking onions? Does it need amendments? So these beds are, this one right here was straight compost that I bought a giant truckload of. And remember I did the video on compacted soil. This one didn't get compacted like the other ones did because I wasn't lazy and I mixed it. So this is compost and coconut coir, and then I added my mountain flower root boost. So that's my regular mix. It looks like there's perlite on the top here as well, so I actually wasn't lazy when I did this bed. So compost, coconut coir, perlite is my general mix for my raised beds. This stuff over here was a raised bed mix soil that I bought in bulk. Literally, they dropped a truckload off. And both of them you can see are thriving. So it doesn't need anything super special. It just needs soil that isn't super dense or compact that would allow the root system to grow down there. And then, like I said, if you want them to grow bigger, I would recommend separating them. But you really don't have to. You just pull them up and eat them and you're good to go. Anyway, that is it for me tonight. I'm going to sign off and go in the house and rest for a little bit. Check out my seed sale. You definitely want to check that out. I've got some awesome stuff on sale right now. And it's time to plant. It is that time. It is April 3rd, and I am planting. Super excited to be able to get out in the garden and get my hands dirty again. Alrighty, everybody, thank you so much for joining me. Hit the thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Have an awesome evening and happy planting.